Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. This is the Sunday night show. I'm Gav, that's Keith. Shawnee is away in Spain. Emma found a bottle of limoncello in a fridge. You can do the maths. That's how we've ended up with myself and Keith on a Sunday night. Look, over the last 10 days, we've had two shows, I think, both regarding Diogo Jota, and we're going to try get back, as we said on the last show, to some sort of normality as much as we possibly can, and bring you shows as much as we possibly can moving through this period. But a lot of what we do or what we don't do will be dictated by tributes and everything else to Diogo Jota. We won't let anything get in the way of them as we move forward. But Liverpool started their pre-season today away at Preston North End. Our first game of pre-season, our first game since that terrible news 10 days or so ago. And Keith, we're kind of gonna do this in two bits. I think one is around Preston themselves. Diogo Jota, the tributes to him before the game, during the game, after the game, and then we'll talk a little bit about the football. Nothing massively in depth. It was literally two separate teams for 45, a decent run out, and I suppose what that means to the players to get back on the pitch. But first of all, we knew it was going to be emotional, Keith. We knew it was going to be. I had a lot of confidence in Liverpool and Preston to do everything to perfection, I think, and they done it today. Preston's program before the game was very touching with regards to Diogo. You had their captain coming out and laying a wreath in front of the Liverpool fans. You had I think is it Sean Maguire that plays for? Did he play for Preston or does play for Preston? Play for
Sean Maguire. He used to play for Preston. He's with Cork now.
Yeah, he's in Ireland now, but he was with
Preston.
His wife, I presume, she sang the Preston anthem, and she sang "You'll Never Walk Alone." And just from the start, Keith, I thought it was very, very, very well done, very tasteful. And Preston, I suppose all you can do is really say thank you to Preston, because I thought they were exemplary today on how they carried themselves and how they looked after Liverpool Football Club today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was always going to be an emotionally charged first game whoever it was going to be against. The fact that it was against Preston, and there are links between Liverpool and Preston, as we all know. It's not far away from Liverpool. It's quite local, and I think Preston showed a real touch of class on the day, as you would expect. Like football at the moment is sort of secondary nearly until we get back up and running. Like everything just feels like a bit meh. But you expect football teams will show the utmost respect to Liverpool and Diogo Jota for the foreseeable future. And a team like Preston, who, as I said, the connections are there. We played them quite regularly. They showed a class that I think we'll see a lot of at the start of the season and through these friendlies. And you're right, from the laying of the wreath, from the singing of the anthems, from the program, everything, it was just absolutely perfect. Liverpool, when we were listening to Arne Slot about players when they're ready, if they feel it, I thought it was quite a strong team that we started with today. I thought it was good to see a lot of the lads there going out there and playing, the likes of Salah, especially. We had Gravenberg, we had Joe Gomez, a few of the senior lads out there. It wasn't just a rubble together team of kids. There was obviously a sprinkling of kids in there, but it wasn't a really weakened team. So it was good by Liverpool, paid Preston the respect, and Preston paid Liverpool the utmost respect on Diogo Jota. And it's going to be difficult, I think, for the first few months. I think it's going to be really difficult to deal with it, because I don't think a lot of fans and players know how to maybe act at the moment, and they have to get on, as Slot said, they're all hurting, they're all going to be emotional, but at the end of the day, we have to get on with the football, because we are a football team, a football club, and these lads are professionals. And even though they've lost their brother, they will want to do right by him, and they will want to get these initial games out of the way and get the initial sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? the strange feeling around these games. They'll want to get them out of the way as
It's the
quickly as
first,
possible.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's the first time, entering a football pitch. It's the first time, going up for a coin toss. It's the first time listening to you never walk along the ground, having the fans in front of you. It's
yeah,
the first time, receiving the ball. It's all firsts.
yeah,
And I think it goes back to what a lot of people have been saying, and I think it's right. What people have been saying is, you know, it's a lot of force, and there's no wrong way of doing this. You know,
yeah,
I'm completely against, someone saying something or someone doing something and people having a go at them. Unless
yeah,
it's completely
exactly.
outrageous. What I mean is that, you know, people act differently, people react differently, and people do or say things to get themselves through things,
Yeah,
not to garner attention from others. They do it to get themselves through it and feel like that's the best thing for me at this moment, and it is going to be one of those. It's there's going to be a lot of forces, and they're going to have to navigate those. And look, I think if you asked all that squad and that staff and everything, they want to play a football game realistically today, they would have said no, right? I
yeah,
think that genuinely that might be the answer. No, not really. No, they'd have been happy if Preston was another week down the road. Even another week, even another 3 or 4 days,
yeah.
just to get it, to get past a certain day or whatever it might be. And but do you think it's good for them? Because I'm of the opinion it is.
Yeah.
Look, someone said to me earlier, how do you think Liverpool might do this season with all this? And I went, look, once they stay together, I'm invested in the football, but I'm not invested in the outcome. My only outcome on this season, and I mean it right now, my only investment in this season is that squad of players and that staff get through this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they come out
100%.
better for it. And listen, whether they finish first, I'd love them to finish first and, dedicate all the trophies to Diogo Jota. But if they finish 10th, I'm genuinely at the stage where my investment is in these as people rather than players and outcomes and results. But I'll support them every week. But that's kind of where I am on it. But look, someone mentioned there, Oisin said that Preston opened up their own capacity within the ground to Liverpool supporters, which was a touch of class. And it looked like Preston did facilitate as many Liverpool fans to get into that ground today as they could. And Preston played their part, like we said at the start, 20 minutes into the game, the Diogo Jota song went around the ground and Preston fans all stood up and clapped along to it. And it's just a healing. It felt like a healing process. Now, I'm not going to say everyone's healed after today, but it's the start of a healing process, isn't it? It's the start of where you can try to get your mind back on football. And as much as they didn't want to do it today, I think they might look back at it in the next 24, 40 hours and go, you know what, I feel a bit better for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's absolutely spot on. As Megan said in the chat, it's the start of the healing process for the lads. And as we said, the likes of Salah, Gomez, Szoboszlai, the boys who came on, they all have got that out of the way now. First game back, they've had to listen to the Jota song being sung, which would have hit them hard.
Yeah.
And we still have to get other lads, the boys on the screen there above me, Virgil and Lucho and other players will come into that squad and will go through the same healing firsts as the boys have done. But I think it's really important that we do it. We have to look at the season and say it's going to be really difficult. How do we harness that emotion to get us through? I sort of agree with you in the sense that, the football is irrelevant this season. I want us to win the league, obviously. I think we will win the league, personally. I think Liverpool will do everything in their power to harness the emotion and to get the players out to play at their absolute best. I think the initial few weeks, the pre-season, will be difficult, but I think when the lads are all back settled in, I think we'll have a couple of months of sympathy from the media and from other fans, and I think that will wear off as the season goes on, as is the nature of tribalism and football fandom. We all know that, we expect that.
Yeah.
I will try to not get annoyed if someone says we're the worst defending champions if we're off the pace come Christmas, like the last time. And we'll try to not let that sort of stuff bother me, because ultimately what these lads are going through, it's heartbreaking stuff. We remember Hillsborough, the stuff that the likes of John Aldridge, he only said it the other day, what he had to go through. We know Kenny Dalglish, we know Steve McMahon, Ronnie Whelan, all went through a lot of stuff, going to a lot of funerals and things like that in the aftermath of Hillsborough, and it took its toll on them. Obviously, this is different in the sense that this is one person, but it's a close family member of theirs now that's after dying suddenly. So can they foster that and use it to their advantage? And I think they will. I think they can, because the one thing that's shining out of all this, and Liverpool have handled themselves absolutely impeccably throughout everything, the club, the admins, social media stuff, very quiet on that front, but when they do speak or they do post, it's the right stuff. When Arne Slot speaks, it's the right stuff. And I think that's gearing us up for going out and attacking this league and attacking all comers ahead of us. Like I said, the sympathy and the well wishes won't last long. That's not a dig at everyone else. It's just the nature of these things. But I think Liverpool, I don't think this group of players, just from listening to them, the characters we have, the leadership we have, I don't think they will let themselves get bogged down too much by this. And if they do, they do. I won't judge them for it. You know what I mean? I won't be there criticising them. I mean, I'm sure a few weeks ago on this show, I said I would have sold Diogo Jota in the summer because of his injury record, and now I do anything to have him back. Do you know what I mean? I would literally do anything to have that lad back among that squad, among the team, and it maybe makes at the moment my outlook on things. Sometimes we as fans we can be too cruel to our own players. I'll get rid of them. They're only assets or commodities. But the reality is, when something like this happens, you sort of see it differently. And I just hope for their well-being and their mental well-being this year, they get through as best they can, and whatever happens. But we'll see as it goes on. But it was good to get that out of the way today. It was good for the lads who were there. Result and performance aside, I think there was some good positive performances from lads today. And it'll be interesting to see over the next few games, the first home game and things like that, how that will be. It'll be tough, because it was tough today. It was tough hearing the fans singing. It was tough to see all that emotion. So it's going to be a weird few weeks. That's going to take a long time for us to heal as a club and as a fan base.
I think I might be reading into things too much here, but Jota and Andre pass away, and you see the devastation for a lot of people, whether you're a fan or you're connected to the football club, whether you're a staff member, you're a coaching member, you're a player, whatever it might be. There was devastation, and then of course his family, which is just another level altogether. And I felt like as much as they were trying to do for each other, it felt a bit disjointed. Players are in different parts of the world. Yeah. Players could come back, couldn't come back. Some went, last week to the kind of it was like a week's passing mass. I'm not sure of the word exactly, but after a week they do another mass for the players and for the two guys, and I know Alisson and Diaz were at that and stuff like that, and it felt a bit disjointed. And then I see outside Anfield the other day where Jota's wife is there, and it looked like her sister and the mother-in-law might have been his mother and father. All the players come out, and that felt like a real togetherness. Horrible to watch, don't get me wrong, but a real togetherness where they came out together and they walked up together and they laid roses together and they all looked along all the different things and all the piece that the fans had left along outside the main stand there. Then you've seen pictures of Jota's wife at the Forever 20 wall, which is just down the road from Anfield, and she's signing that, and for me it felt like there's the togetherness you're looking for. She's not, look, that woman wants to probably go away and lock herself in a dark room, and who'd blame you. But for her to come back to Liverpool so soon, and I know she lives there and I know her kids are born there, but she probably would have felt like, I don't want to be near any of that. I want to be, you know how it works,
Yeah.
right?
She wants to be at home.
Yeah,
in her own.
yeah, exactly. In her own bubble, but
Yeah.
that togetherness there, and I think, like I said, things will be hard. Like we've this game today, and then there's a tour we've to go on. So you have players now that'll be, this is a new force for them going on this tour after this. Being away from their family so soon after this. Being together with loads of time to think. After this, and it won't be nice for them, but I think it'll be something that they'll benefit from as the time goes on. And Arne spoke so well. He's an absolute credit to the football club and himself. With the interview we done, and he said, look, players don't want to train, they don't have to train. They don't want to play, they don't want to play. But Diogo Jota was always himself. He was always committed. He was always ready. He was everyone's friend. I want air players, when they're committed, if they be what Diogo Jota was, they'll be absolutely fine. And I think that's where I can see where they're trying to harness something. They know there's a lot of sadness, and he said that, but the commitment, I think, is going to be there from the football. And I don't want to over egg it and go, we expect you to do A, B, and C. I just think the nature of this squad, like Ashley mentioned there, COVID, Alisson's father, Klopp's mother, Diaz's parents, and that kidnapping, the parade incident, now Jota, they're so mentally strong, and they are so mentally strong, but it's a new thing for them. And I think, as much as it might be a bit daunting for them, because they're still young men, I think as much as it might be daunting to go, a tour and this, that, and then Anfield against Bilbao, and then the first league game, I think from what they've done today, the fans in the ground, fans have sang the songs and stood there with them for 5-10 minutes after the game and sung the songs and let them be together with them. I think football will be really good for them. I think when they win games and they win trophies, they speak so much about being with the fans and having this connection. And I think that connection is needed more than it's ever been needed. Not even in a footballing sense. I think the connection is needed, and it's bigger than football. But football will be the thing that puts it together. And I think, look, we can only take it day by day, game by game, training session by training session, whatever, flight by flight, whatever it might be. And we can only take it from there and go from there. But before we move on, again, I want to commend Preston North for what they've done today. Commend the Liverpool fans, the Preston fans. Very emotional. John Bradley on commentary as well, following the game. And look, that's allowed. He's human as well. But both sets of fans, both football clubs, were excellent in everything they've done today. And you know what? If it continues on like that, I think it'll help everyone, and especially the players and the staff. And that's all you really want to see. And I hope Diogo Jota's family. I doubt they were there, but I hope that Diogo Jota's family were watching, to show the outpouring of love and emotion towards their son, their brother, their father, their whatever, their sisters, brothers, whatever it might be. I hope they watched, and I hope they seen that they'll always be with Liverpool, and they'll whatever they need from Liverpool as a football club, as a community, whatever you want to call it. They won't need to ask for anything in the days, weeks, months, years, whatever it might be. And of course, they have retired the jersey, which is the right thing to do, in my opinion. Absolutely. And I put something permanent there for us to go. Yeah, no one will ever wear that 20, and he is forever Liverpool's number 20, which was a really, really, really nice touch from the football club. And again, the club listening to what people want and bringing it to the family and making sure that was okay. I thought was really good. On the footballing side, you mentioned it was a strong enough team to start.
Yeah.
And it's a big squad. When you see the change they make and the players they don't have there, it's a big squad. Couple to pick out though. And I'm going to butcher this young lad's name. Enganua. Do I have a
Engamoa.
Engamoa. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't, Keith. I'm going to have to.
It was a good effort.
You're
going to have to learn it. You're going to have to learn it.
Yeah, a bit like Farad Skelly. I'm going to have to sit down and do me echo on that one. But
absolutely,
he starts down the left, and we're not saying, oh, look at him getting a start. It's not like that, but loads of energy in him. Keith has a trick. He's involved in the first goal. He skins a full couple of players and gets it to Chiesa, who crossed that, and Bradley eventually puts it in. But really promising, I think, for him to start at the very, very start of the preseason. Not being brought on with 15 to go. Start. Now, I know there's players out and players to come back, but at that age, with a possible new contract coming as well, they have really high hopes for this lad. And I'd argue between him and Doak, I think there might be a spot in the squad for one of these this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at Rio Engamoa, so we signed him we stole him from Chelsea, and Chelsea had the hump with us for it because they regard him as the best in the world at that age. And you saw today a lad who's only played a couple of times, but I'm looking at his stats. He replaced the first half. He's got 21 touches, 13 out of 14 accurate passes, 93% pass completion, right? So he's only not completed one pass.
And one pass he doesn't complete is actually an outside of the foot pass where he tries to slide Chiesa in. It's just a bit overweight.
Exactly, and that's
overweight. Is that the right word?
Well, yeah, it could be.
The ball overweight.
A big fat pass by him. Yeah, that could be a fat shame in his pass. I like that.
Heavy,
but his dribbles,
I've lost it, Keith.
2 dribbles, 2 successful. Ground duels, 1. He won 2 out of 3 ground duels, so he's not some flighty little fella. He's getting stuck in as well.
Kev said he doesn't look physically 16. He actually he went into a shoulder challenge with the right back who's about 6'1", and knocked your man off the ball to the point where your man just kicked it out and gave Liverpool a throw. That impressed me a lot.
But that's what I mean. This kid isn't afraid to get stuck in. As you say, he's 16 years old, and I think we could see bits. I hope we can see bits and pieces of him as the season goes on. Even put him on the bench for a few games, and if the opportunity arises where you're a couple of goals up, and you can say, right, let's let him have a run, and start really blooding him into the first team, because, as I say, this kid is highly, highly rated. At Chelsea where he was, and at Liverpool now, they seem to love him, and he put in a great audition today, but a great showing for the fans. That the players know what he can do, and Arne Slot knows what he can do, but for the fans to see it was a great cameo for him. So yeah, very interesting to see what this season holds for him.
Yeah.
And as you say, Doak is another one, a wide player who was on fire last year at Middlesbrough, and then he got injured and missed sort of the second half of the season. A lot of interest in him from other clubs for big money. The injury sort of hampered that. So, I'd say, looking at the two of them, one has a future at Liverpool and maybe the other one has to fight for a future at Liverpool. But 2 exciting talents on the wing. And there's one thing Arne Slot from his Feyenoord days, he's not afraid to play young players, and he likes wingers who are direct as well. So look, it'll be interesting to see if there's a breakthrough by one of those lads this season, and I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, Sam says pound for pound, Engamoa is strong. Reminds me of when Sterling first came into the team. Strong for his size. And there was another one there as well. There's another one there. It's gone off my screen, but my thing with it is, it was actually, Just says, ran with the ball really well. Bit of a step over Banda currently. Training with Mo will be priceless for him. That was something I noticed, Keith, from the very start of the game. Mo constantly talking to him.
Yeah.
Constantly on him, right? And when they score, Bradley scores and they all kind of congratulate each other, and they're coming back, and him and Mo are having a big conversation on the way back. Now, this is the first pre-season game, everything that's gone before. But Mo Salah is straight on him. And he's saying this, and he's going, yeah, no problem. And off he runs back over to the left wing and goes, right, Mo's told me what to do. And I think that might be a sign of how highly rated he is, because you see players come through and they're young and they might be a bit flashy, might be good talent, but the real best players now, he's good, he gets some pre-season, but he won't be with us. You know the way, kind of way. Whereas when they start showing that interest in you, and your main man is going straight to you after goals and talking to you, he's trying to give you some knowledge, he's trying to give you some information, he's trying to give you some pointers and tips, and he's doing that because he sees something in you. And it was it was something I noticed from Salah massively today. Now I know Salah was captain today, but I don't think he done it because he was captain. I think with Engamoa, it was a real case of, you done really well there, but see this and this and this, go and try this, go and try that. And I thought it was a big thing watching Salah with him.
Has he played with him before? Because usually, like, if Engamoa was playing, maybe they have played together.
he plays. I think almost starts in that. Was it an FA Cup
The
game
FA
or
Cup
Anfield?
game, isn't it? Who
Chiesa
was it
scores at the
against?
end. I can't remember who it was against.
Someone will tell us.
I'm struggling now.
But
Who it
does
was
Salah
against.
play? Do you know? I don't like his because usually when the young lads are
Don't think
coming in,
Salah
they're
plays
coming
that
in.
day. Don't think Salah plays that
They're
day.
coming in, you know, in the not the bomb squad, but usually it's a team where they're after changes. So it's good for him to play with Salah. Maybe he's played all his games with Salah. I'm brutal at this.
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Sorry, yeah, Plymouth.
No,
I couldn't remember.
yeah, no, Plymouth. No, that was the one we got beaten by in Plymouth, wasn't it? We didn't.
No. We
Did we
played.
not beat someone? Oh,
No,
Plymouth, yeah. Well, then did he play? He played
no.
another
He
game. Did he
plays in
play in the
another. He
league?
plays in another
He
cup
plays
game.
at Anfield.
Yeah, at Anfield. It's not
Plymouth
Plymouth
was
was
away.
away.
Must have been a
Englemoor
League
might
Cup.
play in that, but
Accrington.
Accrington. That's what it was.
That
Accrington. Yeah,
Accrington fan,
and
yeah.
he plays. I think he plays 45 in that. But Salah doesn't play in that game, from what I can remember.
But to have that, like Salah's the main man. We know Salah's the main man in the attacking sense. So to have Salah on the pitch with him is a big thing. And Salah is taking on a leadership role. I'd say that the events of the last couple of weeks, even more so, will push Salah to drive this team on. But I think, you know, Trent moving on. I don't know what way the vice captaincy will fall. Is that being announced on that? I don't. I've gone
Nothing's
off
been
social
announced. I
media,
would be
so I haven't
amazed if
followed
it's not
any of
Mo
it.
Salah though.
Yeah, you know, it could be Mo Salah, and that's what we'll see. But to see him with this a wide player, you know, an attacking wide player, no better person from to learn off, because if he can add end product to his array of skills, he'll go a long way.
You know, Doak does play, and to be fair, for the third goal, yeah, he actually gets the ball played out to him and miscontrols it, and it goes out, and he's getting a bit of a slagging off the Preston fans, and the ball is thrown in, and he just pounces on it and wins it. So I really like that from him. He didn't get down. But Doak, you know, Kev, I think with Kevin the chat today, he feels that Doak will be sold this summer. But I'm not against, if you're selling him up, I'm not against giving him loads of pre-season and having a look. Do you know what I mean? And saying, right, what could we use him? And look, maybe that's just me being a bit romantic over it. You know, we were talking a couple of weeks ago about Liverpool signing win now footballers. You know, but I just feel in the forward line, especially on that right hand side, you know, Salah's got to command so much of the time. Is it worth us giving a youngster a go there rather than having, you know, a seasoned player in there that's not going to be really happy not playing? Whereas Doak might go, you know what, if I can get 20 appearances this season off the bench, even a couple of starts, you know, half an hour's here, half an hour's there, it might be good enough for him at this stage of his career. I don't know. Maybe that's me reading too much into that right hand side, but Doak was
Well,
there.
I think. Sorry, I think nobody wants to think about the the future makeup of the squad. Maybe, you know, at this point in time, but you know, there's a
But I think it's okay
possibility
to
that
talk about it.
but I think there's a possibility that, you know, Liverpool don't dip into the striker market and try to keep that group together and look at Chiesa maybe taking the central role that Jota would have had and keeping Nunez. You know, if you know, I'm not saying this will happen, but you know, there is a world where they keep what they have. They don't sell any of their attackers now, because with Jota's sudden sort of passing, it's teams are not going to do Liverpool favors when they're selling players. You know, ultimately it's business, and it's, you know, they're you know, they'll offer their sympathies, and you know, Newcastle aren't going to give us a favourable deal for Alexander Isak. So I wonder, do Liverpool sort of stick with what they have and say, right, Nunes and Chiesa and Diaz are going to play centrally for us, and Doak backs up Salah. So it creates a, because Chiesa didn't get a sniff because he was the Salah backup. That might be all right, more palatable for a Doak than
That's
a
that's
Chiesa.
where I am
And
with that.
maybe
Yeah.
Chiesa doesn't push on, and you know, it's wishful thinking, it's pie in the sky, but that could be something, because I thought Chiesa looked lively today down the centre. So
But you see, my thing on it is, and you know, we are in that realm now of when you start mentioning squad and makeups and stuff, where you know people can get upset and stuff like that, but it kind of has to be spoken about, you know. And like I said earlier, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. my opinion on it is that um, I don't think their striker um, the goals they have with regards to a striker in this transfer, I don't think it changes at all. I think they'll still look to bring in a striker. Um, I just think that Jota as the second striker now becomes Nunes as the second striker. That's where I think it might end up.
or
And
possibly Chiesa
or
if Nunes was to move on.
maybe, but
It just
uh,
seems like the Nunes to Napoli was more advanced than maybe
yeah, but
the other.
it was advanced, and then it was like they're offering like 10 million short of what we want, and maybe they can make that up. But I think that's where it might go.
Yeah,
And the Diaz stuff, it's been an awful lot of huff and puff, but nothing really happening. The sort of way, and maybe something will happen. I just wouldn't like to see Liverpool getting dragged into the last week of a window, where
no,
with Diaz up in the air as to what's going to happen there. You know what I mean? But just on Nunes, because Nunes comes on second half, pounces on a mistake from the Preston North End centre back, rounds the keeper and scores. Lovely tribute to Jota when he scores.
yeah,
He does the baby shark celebration, then he does the computer game celebration as well, and he done a lovely post on Instagram following
yeah,
that as well. If anyone hasn't seen it, you should go and check it out. But he looked lively, and
yeah,
even when I said to you, Doak, presses on a ball and wins it. I was more impressed with the third goal and Nunes' part in it than I was with Nunes' goal. If
yeah,
you get
yeah,
me,
yeah.
he rounds the keeper and scores. Doesn't even round him. The keeper just kind of stands there and he goes, "All right, then just put it in the net." But the
But
awareness
we've
of the
seen Nunes make a mess
we've
of
seen
them
Nunes go
before.
wide and slice it, or we've seen him hit a keeper. But
Yeah,
the awareness for the third goal I really enjoyed,
yeah,
because to me, 3 or 4 months ago, that ball gets squared to Nunes, he's trying to wrap his foot around it and bury it.
yeah,
You know. Whereas this one, he just steps over. He knows where everyone is. He steps over, and he shows that at times, that awareness, like away at PSG when he wins that ball and plays it to Elliott perfectly. He shows that awareness at times. So maybe getting a bit ahead of myself, but I was impressed with him when he came on. He looked
yeah,
lively. He looks fit. Um, he gets a goal. Good awareness with the dummy for the Gakpo goal, and we don't know. Like a couple of weeks ago, you're saying he's gone. He's out the door. If they can get 55 million for him, they take it. And now you're looking going, I don't know. I think they could sign a striker and keep him now. And
yeah.
that's just going back on your point of togetherness, keeping stuff together.
Yeah, and look, people in the chat are saying, "Oh, you have to evolve, you have to move on." And look, we don't disagree with that. Before the Jota news, you would have said, "Yeah, you will reshape that front line." And Chiesa and Nunes both linked to Napoli, and Diaz linked with Barcelona, Bayern Munich. You're thinking there might be a reshuffle up there, and we all knew like that. And Davey's in the chat there, the Newcastle fan. I'm sure he's sick of us talking about taking Alexander Isak. But it was looking like, them rumours weren't going away. Now, whether it happened or not, God knows. Who knows? But it looked like Liverpool were shaping up to bring in a forward. And now it's, like I said,
I don't
it
think that's
might
changed at all.
slightly... They might look at the economic side and the squad makeup side. Well, look, Darwin Núñez has had enough time to prove his worth as Liverpool's number 9, and I'm one of his biggest fans. He hasn't worked out. It's right for him to move on. It's right for us to move on. Let's see what happens. Benjamin Sesko's liking posts, following Liverpool on social media now, so he's being linked. I'm a huge fan of Sesko. I wouldn't be against it at all if we were to go after him. But, we'll do a deal. If we can do a deal that suits us, we'll move it forward on. If we don't, then I don't think we'll. I don't think we'll be. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think we'll be foolish enough to think we can do something and leave ourselves short. Do you get me? Like we'll make that decision. I think we'll make the call early that right, we can get someone in, or we can't. This is what we're gonna go. We're gonna hold what we have and see where it brings us. But look, again, as we say, this year, this year, not that the football's irrelevant. The football's never irrelevant in a sense, but I think the appetite for me personally isn't there. That'll change naturally. That'll change in the next few weeks. But it's hard to sort of get up for transfers and lads leaving. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah, no,
I think
that's
it's
fair.
really difficult at this moment in time to be plotting and planning. The club will be, because we're a well-run club. We've got really, really good people. Richard Hughes, the John Travolta style comeback from him this year, when everybody thought he was an absolute bum because he wasn't doing anything. I fully trust that Richard Hughes will be looking and working to do the absolute best for us. So time will tell in that front. But like I said, it's just hard to, transfer tittle tattle and all that sort of shit.
Mm.
It's really the worst stuff in the world at the moment. People looking for clicks and farm and laden um, attention and things like that. But the world moves on, and it will for us, it will for Liverpool. Just wait and see what happens.
Um, Couple of new players in the team today. Marmadashvili in goal. Pretty uneventful game he had, but good to
Yeah,
see him. He came out and
big
he
unit.
he tried to punch one out of the stadium uh, at one stage, but done absolutely fine. Former Preston keeper, his name's going out of my head. He came on as well, didn't he?
Freddie Woodman. Didn't
Yeah,
even
he
know we
came on.
signed him.
He came on, and he was second half. That was fine, but the ones that we were kind of looking for, I forgot Verts wouldn't play. I actually put Verts in the artwork beforehand and on. Then when I took one look at the team, I went, "Oh, all the lads from international duty aren't going to play in this." But Kirkes and Frimpong did play. Played second half lively. Kirkes eats up ground like I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
He's just up and down all the time. Frimpong nice and tidy. Just get into it. And look, it must be difficult for them lads as well. Like they were
Absolutely.
due to come back. They were due to come in on the Friday for pre-season training. Everyone's in great form, back at it, and then what happens, and they're like, and I'm not saying to be giving out about it for a second, but it must be a really strange situation to go into a football club and you go, like, this is a club in mourning when I've walked into it. Whereas 4 weeks ago they were signing and they were, Frimpong and Kirkes delighted, and it's just taken that turn. But someone said earlier in the chat, new faces won't do any harm either, Keith.
Yeah.
It brings that different
Absolutely.
side of it, and I suppose it gives players that are already there new focus. These are new players, let's look after them. It kind of focuses your mind
Yeah.
in different areas, and it was good to see them two start, or not start. It was good to see them get their debuts for Liverpool, and Vert will follow on the tour, I presume. I remember that Philly as well, who, yeah, you're right, he's absolutely fucking huge.
Yeah. He's a big presence, Maradashvili, and there's a lot to be said for a keeper that's, huge like that. And Shawnee has said it for a while. He's a big fan of Maradashvili and what he's going to bring to Liverpool. And it's good to see him getting in there. It's good to see Frimpong, and it's good to see Kirkes making their debuts also. But we've brought in Florian Wirtz. We've said it, possibly the best player that's going to transfer this season, this summer. Sorry, and he's come to us. So he's not coming in to. And I don't mean this to sound sort of callous. He's not coming in to just hand around the tissues. If the lads are feeling all upset and emotional all year, he'll want to come in here to win, because he came here to win. So he's coming in as one of the top players in the world. He's going to want to say, right, lads, we do this for Diogo. Didn't know him, but we see the impact. This is what we're going to do, and Liverpool will use that. Those new players will offer an awful lot of new voices, new ideas, new tactics on the training ground. As you say, Kirkes and Frimpong are going to be bombing up and down that line
Oh, just
on
bundles of
both
energy, like
sides.
bundles of energy.
And whether it be Connor Bradley or whoever's on the right, or Frimpong or whatever, it's going to be, it's going to be a change at Liverpool, because Trent is no longer there. It's going to be a change because Wirtz is now here, and these new fullbacks are going to, write off Andy Robertson. But, Robbo could still play a big part this year while Kirkes works his way in, So it's going to be a lot of change at Liverpool, and that's good, because, as you say, them new faces and them new, your man is in as well. The coach, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, don't know if he'll be any use or whatever, but again, it's a new voice. It's something different for the lads there to be listening to and to be focusing on. So look, it's going to be interesting, but good to see the lads getting their debuts today.
Look, we're never tonight going to go in depth into the football. It was just more a couple of people that not stood out, but it was a marker for them, you know. And like Engamoa, am I getting better at that? Engamoa,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah, Train
Don't
Ione as well. Good to see him.
yeah, really good. And he signed a new deal a while ago.
Yeah,
And as soon as I seen he signed the deal, I was like, well, he's going out on loan.
yeah,
Bajcetic, someone asked about Bajcetic earlier. Bajcetic has undergone surgery, so I think he'll struggle to get back before the season starts. Or it might be a bit of a rehabilitation season, I suppose, for
yeah,
Bajcetic. That's where I think it might be. And we were never going to go deep into it. All things considered, it was good to see Liverpool back playing football today. In the long term, I think in the medium or short to medium term, I think they look back at it and go, yeah, it was probably the right thing to do. The show of solidarity, the show of love, the show of togetherness from both football clubs and both sets of fans, players, staff, everything, I think was massive for everyone. It was a big I think it was a big show of strength towards the family of Diogo and Andre, and I think as much as we didn't want to be in that situation today, I don't think it could have went much better.
yeah,
If that's even the right word, but you know, that's how I feel about it today, and we'll take the next game when it comes, and you know, transfers, they're always going to happen, Keith. You know, Mark Wade's
yeah,
name is still in the mix there as well, and we've kind of made the decision that over the next couple of weeks that we're not going to do your normal transfer shows where we're just throwing out names and going, what do you think? We probably won't do that for another week or two. If something really solid happens, we will cover it. And people watching now, you're liking, you're subscribed. 15,000 subscribers we went past the other day as well, which I noticed, which was
good
great.
stuff.
So
Yeah,
like, subscribe, comment. If you're interested in our Patreon, check out patreon.com/Talkin Kop, and that's been quiet for the last 2 weeks, much like this channel. So thanks to everyone over on Patreon that do pay their subscription every month and haven't really got out and back
being
in
patient.
July. Yeah, and look, we do our best to make it up to you. If you're interested in joining that, please do, because there will be loads of stuff coming in pre-season and particularly throughout the season on there as well. But it's one of those where it felt like a bit of a weird day, but it felt like, I hate trying to use words because people take it the wrong way, but at the end of it, it felt a bit of a therapeutic day, you
Yeah,
know, in a
yeah,
sort of way, and it did. And like I said, we just have to take it day by day, game by game, tribute by tribute, whatever the club or the family or whatever want to do, you know, you back that and you go with it and you put your all in behind it, and that's what we will do while trying to maintain some sort of normalcy
yeah,
to what we do as well, and that's a balance we're trying to find. And if we find it, great. If you feel we're not finding it, by all means let us know or throw your opinion at us. We might not agree with you, but we're open to opinion, and there might be something really obvious that we're doing that's probably not right, and
yeah,
people will go, you're not doing that, and we go, yeah, do you know what, hands up, because we're big enough and bold enough to take constructive criticism. You know, we're all over us at this stage, you know. But look, we're gonna leave it in a couple of minutes, but I wanted to talk to you because we always go a bit random at the end of these shows, so why not? And we've had 2 days of really good weather, Keith.
you say really good. Hot weather.
Oh, it was really good.
No,
Would you say exceptional?
I don't like it. I don't
Right,
like it. We're not
but
equipped for it.
we are not equipped for it because, well, people give out it's too warm, like yourself, and then when it
Yeah,
rains tomorrow, you'll be giving out that we don't get any good weather in this country.
yeah.
But you're
Love
going
a bit of sun.
but you're going off to find the hot weather in Spain on
Yeah,
Wednesday, and it's about 40 degrees over there. So I don't know what
heat
you're
wave. Yeah,
right.
yeah, true.
But we are not equipped, Keith, because literally we got good weather on Friday, right? And Friday night,
Exceptional weather in fairness, the
exceptional
last
weather,
few
and
days.
they turned off our water, Keith. They went,
Yeah,
listen, lads, it's been really sunny for the last 12 hours. We're going to knock the water off between 11 and 6. We have to let the reservoirs fill up.
yeah.
Yeah, Keith, come
Fill
on.
them fucking reservoirs up in the winter. This is the thing with this country, Gav. They're only short of banning ice cream in the summer as well when it gets
Yeah.
hot because the
There was
electricity
a
on the
story
bleeding
where they
freezes.
told us not to put out your washing because it was too hot to put out your washing.
Yeah.
It was too dry to dry stuff.
Oh, stop.
Like, Keith,
You
come
know,
on, look. You know what I mean? Aaron says, Gav, you doing the sunbeds lately? Fuck off,
You
Aaron.
have a cracking colour, in fairness.
I always have a cracking colour. I'm quarter Italian, Keith.
That's
You
that,
know
yeah.
this.
It's the Italian blood in you, I
Yeah, it's the
suppose.
Italian blood in me. I don't burn. I just go brown. So that's all.
Yeah.
No, sunbeds, no, don't go near them. Go, put your factor 50 on and out and sit in the sun. Yeah, lovely
Yeah.
tan. It's going to be pouring rain tonight, says Madge Apple. Lovely, she says.
Yeah.
See?
There
See?
you go. Madge has the right idea. I'm
Yeah.
like that myself. Love a bit of rain.
I love
An
when
El
people go,
thunderstorm.
I love when people go, no, to be a bit of rain tonight, that'll clear the air. We need that. We need that just to clear the air.
Yeah.
But Keith, a day after having some good stuff, good weather, and we've no water left. Look, what's going on here?
But see, that's it. Like you said, I'm off to Spain on Wednesday, and I'll enjoy the heat in Spain because the hotels have air conditioning, because you have swimming pools, because you can have a pint at 10 o'clock in the morning and you don't get judged, and all that other good stuff. Over here, when the sun comes out, you get told that you're not allowed to run water, you're not allowed to fill a pool, you're not allowed to have a water
I
fight
filled
for
the
the
pill
kids.
yesterday.
Yeah, I would literally, if the government said you're not to be filling the pools, I'd be going out and digging a pool and filling it, because it's madness that we have 30-degree weather over here, searing heat, and they're telling you not to use the water. Right, we get it, preserve water, all that sort of stuff. Preserve it next week. Do you know what I mean? It's going to piss rain for the next week. Worry about the water then. This is bleeding, tropical weather over here the last 3 days. I'm sweating here still. It's fucking roasting still at this hour. And yeah, they tell you not to be running the water. I just think it's mad. You run out of water, your water gets turned off. Crazy.
Tony One Kenobi says, no air conditioning. He got heat stroke in Belfast yesterday, and I've been in it all day in bed. And the worst place to be in this weather is in bed, isn't it?
Yeah, with heat stroke. Yeah, I mean,
sapping wet.
It's the worst. I remember about, my daughter was only one, so 26 years ago, I got bleeding scorched in Poolbeg, where the lighthouse is over in the Poolbeg, right? So we went down there one day.
Do you know what? You started that sentence like you went on holiday, right? And you could throw a stone and hit Poolbeg from where you were from.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So we went down one. I put sun cream and all on. We got in the water. We were having a swim in the Half Moon Swimming Club down there. Great day, sun baking down. Didn't realise the sun cream wasn't waterproof, so the one application didn't do the job, right? Got absolutely sizzled. Me back covered in blisters. Had to get fucking dressing on it for days. And ever since then, it's about 25 years ago. Ever since then, like, I'm so sensitive to the sun on me back and me shoulders and all that. It's fucking terrible. But that was in Ireland. Never get it when you're in Spain or anything. But in Ireland, absolutely horrific state of affairs.
The worst I ever got was on a cloudy day on Tramore Beach in Waterford. Worst I ever got. Like, top to bottom. I was fucked. Right, and I went from being freezing cold 1 minute to absolutely sweating the next for about 2 days. It was horrendous. Steve says 5-hour shift in work yesterday, no aircon, nightmare.
Oh no.
But like, yeah, I suppose most companies have, like, when you work from home, it's horrendous, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's not the worst.
Well, you just don't do any work. Just sit there eating Calipos.
You can do your work where you want when you're doing it at home. Yeah. You go to the beach and do your work when you're working from home.
Have you any ways to try to get air into the place? Do you know where people go, open a crack of a window, and like, I had everything open here. Like, I mean,
there's no bleeding wind. There's no breeze.
Last night I was so tempted, right, to leave the sliding door in the back of the house here, right, and the window open here last night. Just leave them open all night. But then the thing that's in me kicks in and go, we be bleeding. This house be up on bricks when I get up in the morning. Do you know what I mean? If I leave it like that.
Yeah. Well, you leave the windows open and you've got bleeding flies and all everywhere, and it's moan about everything.
And then little fruit flies, little bastards as well.
Oh, stop. Fucking nightmare they are.
Isn't it gas, right? You go through the year and you middle of winter, right? You're putting stuff in your bin and you're like, yeah, grand, right? And then the summer comes, you're putting stuff in your bin and just all these things attacking you. You're like, where the fuck have you been all year?
Exactly. Hate
Do you
them.
know what
Hate them.
I mean?
Bastards.
The humidity turns me into a banshee, says Madge. I'm in Tremor now, Gav, and Gino's is closed. Is Gino's a
There you
chipper?
go.
Gino
Yeah,
sounds like a
Gino's
chipper.
could be a chipper. Could be an
Tremor
ice
used to
cream
be
parlour.
in Tremor. There used to be a place called the High Bee, the Hibernian nightclub, and there was another one as well. And then there was the
Big on the Tremor same way.
yeah, because I had relations that live in Tremor, still do.
Yeah.
Loved it, and yeah, I really liked Tremor. Big fan of it. Big fan of it. Yeah, so
Irish seaside place. There. Madge said gelato, so the Gino's ice cream job.
it's an ice cream. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I love just cold drinks. Would you go for an ice cream?
Oh, I prefer cold drinks myself.
Yeah.
So yesterday, we were out in Bray. My young fella had a football match out in Swords. We had to go straight out to Bray.
good
It was
luck.
raining or regatta, and spent the day out in Bray, and it was fucking roasting. But like that little seaside, now it's not like going to Tremor because you feel like you're getting a holiday when you go to Tremor. But you're out in Bray, you're on the seafront, you're having an ice cream or a bleeding a few drinks or whatever. It was just, Ireland is great when you get that weather, but we're not equipped. We're not equipped for it.
No, we're not. Shawnee Lawson, all the way from Spain. He says a can of Coke out of the fridge after a night out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. A can of Coke out of the fridge. Oh, you can't be it. And much better than the bottles. Much better than the bottles of Coke. Cans of Coke are way better.
Yeah.
Is it the
aluminium?
The can itself, the aluminium that makes it better?
Could be. Holds the cold for longer.
Glenn says, my mate is in Cambrills. You might want to know this. And it's a total washout. Sent him pictures of the weekend of weather in Dublin.
That.
He was snapping.
You know what, right? I love the rain, right? My missus loves the rain. I love going on a walk in the rain. I love it. I love it when we be in America and they have in Orlando. You know when you go to Orlando and they have thunderstorms. We'd sit in the pub just looking out at it. Great. We got looking at pictures from Salou where we're off to and seeing the rain. Like, lovely. Have a bit of that. We'll have a bit of that. Went on to the weather app. Heat wave when we get there.
Yeah,
it's just, can't catch a break at all.
That's what it's doing. It's just clearing the air for the next heat wave. That's all it's doing. Because we're meant to get thunder and lightning and rain and all tonight.
Yeah.
I'd say there'd be people out there and bleeding dances on the street and everything when this comes.
Oh yeah.
But we're not equipped. I love the weather, but we're definitely not equipped for it.
No.
And the thing 100%. Is, I hate to say it, right? When you have young kids, it's a load of bollocks, this weather. Like Keith, if we didn't have kids, right, and that weather was out, I'd be ringing you going, Keith, come on, we find the beer garden.
Yeah, those days are gone.
Right?
Yeah.
And you feel great. You're sitting out in the weather and it's gorgeous out and you're putting a bit of sun cream on, you're having a beer and everything's great, right? But then when that weather comes, you have kids and they're hanging out of you. Can I have this? Can I have that? Can you fucking fill that pill? Can you get this down for me? Can you get that out for me? And you're just doing nothing all day except sweating. Right? And you're just fucking sweating all fucking day long. And people going, wasn't it great weather? Yeah, it was great, but the day was shite.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Kids are wrecking everything.
Do you know what we need to do?
It's not the weather, actually.
We need to give away all our kids when the weather comes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
There should be somewhere where we can put all the kids.
Sign them in like in the old days. Remember in the old days, you used to get put into the sunshine home or whatever. Yeah. Well, I need a break.
Get away with that, but there you go.
No, those days are gone.
Anyway, we're going to leave it there. We're not equipped for the weather. There's all sorts of bad weather coming tonight, so everyone will be happy then. They'll be happy for half an hour, and then you meet them in the shops. You meet them in the shops and you go, "That's summer," and you go, "Oh, it's desperate, isn't it? We don't get any summer in this country."
Yeah.
And then you start moaning about the bad weather.
I'll be moaning because I don't own an umbrella. Love the rain. Don't own an umbrella.
When you meet anyone on the street, I would say 9 out of 10 conversations in Ireland start with, "Jay, it's a grand day, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Like never anything else. Absolutely. Not how are you? How are the family? It's always the weather.
Some weather, that, isn't it? Yeah. Some weather. Can't be dealing with that heat. Stop moaning, will you? Bringing us down. No. Looking forward to the rain. We stay up now.
Oisin says, love that shot on the weather. Couldn't agree more. Bring back the rain.
Love
miserable bastards.
Love it, Oisin. That's it.
Just lash the factor 50 on you and relax and enjoy it. Unless you're kids. And then you just sweat the bollocks out of yourself. It's shy.
See, there you go. Like I said, bring back putting kids in places for the summer, like a boarding
Yeah,
school type
yeah,
of
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
and then you can go out and enjoy yourself.
yeah, yeah. And you could pay a subscription, right, every
Yeah,
month, which gives you priority when the good weather comes. So
yeah,
you're
and you
comfortable
get it
in the knowledge. You're
down
comfortable in
for
the
more
knowledge that,
kids.
listen, if this weather kicks off on Friday, I've got me place. You know,
Yeah,
I don't need to be ringing any emergency line here. So there you go.
they're in.
uh,
There's good weather, kids. Use are off down to come home and Balbriggan for
yeah,
the next
yeah.
3 weeks. We'll
Obby's
come and
going out to
collect you.
Bettystown there, and we'll
Yeah,
see us when you just come back. Farmers are screaming for a drop of rain. Of course they are. And when it lashes rain for 3 days, they tell you it's too much rain. Do you know what I mean? This is the way it goes. Summer projects, says Emma. That's what we need.
yeah,
We need to be able to throw our kids into a summer project with somebody, other parents to watch our kids while we have
yeah.
a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
time. Do you know what I mean? Are we being
You don't-
selfish here, or are we just being
I
realistic?
think we're being realistic, Gav. I think
Yeah,
we're being honest.
yeah,
Everyone's thinking about we're saying it.
yeah. John
Kids in
Brooks,
homes, bring back
just put kids in homes.
for the
John
summer.
Brooks says, I lived in Singapore for 15 years, waking up to 30-degree heat on Christmas morning. Never felt right. Bring on the rain.
Oh,
Well, maybe it
man,
didn't
after
feel
me.
right. Yeah, I get that at Christmas, but you're never getting that at Christmas. Like, we yearn for fucking, just give us a good July and August and we'd be happy. We'd take anything else, right? And then we get a bit of it and you're like, no, not having this. This is fucking outrageous. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you think about it, we ask for 2 months, right? If you gave, like, I hear loads of people say, if you gave me July and August, right, I wouldn't care about the rain in the October, November. I wouldn't care about the snow in January and February.
Mhm.
You know, I wouldn't care if you gave me people crying out for actual seasons, really, right?
Yeah,
And then you go, well, listen, there's a week of 26 degrees. And then they go, fuck that, right?
yeah.
Not having it. Imagine you actually gave,
26. Yeah.
imagine you told them that you had 8 weeks of that. They'd be fucking carnage, like, you know what
Ah,
I mean?
stop.
So anyway, there you go. Anyway, we're gonna go. Just something, a bit of a laugh at the end because you need it every
Yeah,
now and then.
that's it.
I've been Gav. That's been Keith. Shawnee's in Spain. Emma's on the limoncello. We will be back during the week with shows on YouTube and on our Patreon. We're working hard on having a deep dive into these new players, bringing us some highlights on Patreon and being able to talk through them. That's one of the things we're going to do this week. And we had plans, but we're going to have to probably sit back down now and redo them for the next couple of weeks between now and the start of the season. But we will. Plenty on YouTube, plenty on Patreon. You'll find us on your podcast apps as well. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff. And we'll talk to you soon. Over and out.